G'day footy fans and welcome to Boothy's AFL Fantasy Dream Team podcast. Well, I'm ranked 5,640, which is not bad seeing I had Joel Selwood with just 2 points before he got knocked out. Okay, so there I am, 5,640 overall out of 447,000. My ranking for round 14 was 12,500 due to Joel Selwood getting knocked out on 2 points only, and my score was 21.72, which was really solid considering. Now, one confession I have to make is when I heard that Kolodnaski was out last week, I quickly made a late change. I couldn't podcast it. Jake Lloyd came into defence for Kolodnaski, which cost a little bit of money, of course. So that leaves my defence a lot more solid, as you can see, with 4 scores of over 100 last week, a 97 from Nunes and Hunt's 40, which was a bit disappointing. And I also, as a consequence of that, just scroll down to my midfield, I brought in Dom Sheed for West Coast, who was a bit cheaper than the player I had in there, which was obviously Barlow, who I traded out of the midfield after his broken leg. Did a swapsy into the forward line with, I think, Heaney. And Sheed got 96. So out of my 2 guys I brought in, I got 116 and 96, which is wonderful. It's an average of about 111, I think it is, for those 2 guys. So the guys I was going to bring in were Grundy the Ruckman, and unfortunately, as you can see, I've still got Longer. And the other one was a cheap player I put on the bench, Callum Brown, who didn't do very well. So I think I've done a bit better out of those 2 trades, with Kolodnaski going out, as I said, and Barlow's broken leg, and Sheed, who's been averaging, as you can see there, close to 90 and probably a bit more lately, a 4th or 5th year midfielder for West Coast, I think 5th year now, and Lloyd, who's been prolific this year, who got knocked out also a month ago. He's probably averaged more like 100 or over 100 other than getting a small score in that game he got knocked out. So Doherty's been unbelievable. Adams has been unbelievable as well. Nunes has been pretty solid. Lloyd's been excellent. Mills got a big score of 109 and Hunt's the only disappointing one. Scharenberg may not play again this week. He's been named on a 25-man bench for Collingwood, but he's there as my emergency. Hopefully I won't need him, and Vickers Willis is stuffed. So this week I brought in Zach Merritt, as you can see there, to be my captain. So it makes my midfield quite strong. And obviously I've got rid of Joel Selwood, who got knocked out, as you know, and I don't think he'll play against GWS. But if he does, he probably won't get a big score anyway. So I've brought in Zach Merritt, which is great. And the other one I brought in on the bench there, as you can see, is Witherden, who cost $2.25 for Brisbane, but he's been named on a half-forward flank. And I'll just get rid of that, sorry about that. And Witherden came into my side, and I had to make a change, obviously, to do that. And I'm still stuck with Longer and Witts in the ruck. Now, Longer is playing on West Coast Eagles home ground this week, so we'll see how he goes. Hopefully, he'll get a reasonable score. And, of course, I would rather have Grundy, but I just couldn't afford to do all of it. So the player I brought Witherden in for, by the way, is down here. I'll just show you. Andrew McGrath. So McGrath's been getting scores. He got 1 score of 100 or 90 a few weeks back. Then he got 39 on the weekend. So I used his money and Selwood's money, obviously, to get Merritt, who's one of the best midfielders, of course, and Witherden, who looks promising. And with Brisbane not being able to make finals now, I'd expect Witherden to play every game to get games into him for next year, so he looks like a likely type. That's why I brought him in at 225. So my forward line's still really solid. Heaney, Billings, Wallace, Burton for Hawthorn, who's been doing well, Ryder, who's been playing quite solidly, and Greenwood, who got a massive score. And the good news for me is Aaron Black's been named in the 22 for Geelong against GWS, so I've put him emergency, and Parsons is still there for Geelong also. So that's good. I might make a little bit of money out of my 2 bench players for Geelong there. So my forward line is solid without being brilliant. The rucks obviously need a bit of work, but I'm saving a bit of money there, of course. And my midfield's really strong now with, as I said, Merritt, Mitchell, Dangerfield, of course, Ebert, who had a downer, Bontempelli, who had a fantastic game, Oliver, who did the little fakey, divey, but he's still playing pretty well. Dom Sheed has been in good form, and Pau Pepper, who I had on my bench, but he got 92. And, of course, Witherden there as my emergency for Brisbane with a bit of job security coming up, as I said. And my defence is really fantastic, really happy with it, other than Hunt, who hopefully will improve for Melbourne. So there's my team, guys. It's pretty solid. I'm hoping to get my ranking into the top 5,000 after this week. Make comments. I know some people have bagged my side saying it's not that great. Look, I'm trying hard. My goal is obviously to finish up in the top 1,000 at the end of the year. The top 100 will be brilliant to get a hat, but realistically, the top 1,000 is now my goal at the end of the year. I'm currently 5,500, as you saw. I think I've got a pretty reasonable side. Obviously, my only issues now Maybe Burton in the forward line I'd like to replace with someone slightly better. Greenwood may not be able to maintain that either. Obviously, Longer in the ruck's a bit of an issue. Pepper on the field might be an issue as well for consistency. And Hunt. So, there's a few changes I need to make as I make more money, hopefully, from these other guys. But I'm very happy with the majority of my team. So make comments. Let me know how you're going. And hopefully I can improve on this score of 2172. Hopefully more like 2300 would be nice, of course. And 30k in the bank ready for next week. So my team's only worth 13.5 million. Let me know, make comments. And I know that I need to make a change in my ruck, but at the moment I'm stuck with Longer, who's been serviceable without being brilliant. And it's bye for now.